There is heavy security presence at the University of Education Winneba as the occupancy of the office of the Vice Chancellor heightens tension on the campus. The management of the university is today fighting back as ousted Vice Chancellor Professor Mauto Avoke attempted to announce his assumption of leadership of the university, insisting Professor Anthony Afo-Broni remains the substantive Vice Chancellor of the school. Professor Avoke's attempt to return to his former post was scuttled by law enforcement agencies and he was forced to address the media outside the school premises. Let's listen to Professor Avoke when he addressed the media yesterday.
As you are all probably aware, the anti-graft agency YOCO, following a sustained probe into a number of allegations leveled against 6 officers of the university, including me, by the Professor Abekale Governing Council of the University of Education, concluded in black and white that we did not abuse our offices, nor were we in violation of any procurement process. This allegation formed the basis on which we were removed from office. It's also interesting to know that these dismissals were made despite the pendency of the case at the Supreme Court of the land at the time. We are back to our offices today to resume our rightful positions, knowing that there is no court prohibition on us and no notice of indictment from YOCO. We are delighted that a government institution, YOCO, has been professional and did a thorough independent investigation. This is clear evidence of a state institution working to ensure justice and fairness to its citizens. Way forward. During our press conference on the 16th April 2019, we argued for unity and harmony in the University of Education Winneba as an important basis for growth and ensure a conducive environment for scholarship. The time has now come to realize these ideals. We are determined to sustain such an enabling environment, working together with all relevant stakeholders. In that press conference, I also forgave Reverend Father Professor Afo-Broni and Professor Becker for the roles they had played in this whole saga, this whole issue, and indicated a willingness to be part of a conversation to reconcile the university. Indeed, since that press conference, I have made a number of overtures. For example, contacting some members of faculty who have strong views against us through phone calls for the need for all to consider the greater interests of the university as foremost. I have gone on to discuss with them how we can all come together to rebuild the broken bridges of trust to ensure peace, harmony within the university. Given the task ahead of us, these will be critical in refocusing the university and strategically positioning for further growth, fairness, and equal opportunity for all staff.
Professor Avoke yesterday at the university's outside the university premises. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba has been following this story. He joins me on the line. Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, hello, Gifty.
Maxwell, paint for us a picture of the security situation on campus.
Well, since morning, about 20 police officers have been stationed outside the administrative block of the university. Quite a number of them are also moving around on the campus. About 4 police vehicles are parked strategically positioned in front of the administrative block, and that is because yesterday we understand that the former vice chancellor of the university, he actually had access to that administrative block and moved all the way to the council chamber, where the university's governing council usually holds their meetings, and that's where he was supposed. We are told he was going to declare his, reinstatement before police later moved in to stop him from, from doing that. So today we have a lot of police officers stationed in front of that building because they had indication also. In fact, he hinted. The former vice chancellor actually hinted that he'll be back today. But we've been there since morning, and we've not seen him around. We've not seen any of the dismissed staff who came, members of staff who came around with him yesterday. We've not seen any of them around.
Has this disrupted academic activities on campus,
Well, regular school is not in session, and what they have now is the students who are taking arts and sandwich, courses. So that is ongoing. But regular school is not in session. But for students on the sandwich program, all of them are going about with their academic activities on the university campus. But let me say that before you enter any building on the campus, you'd go through some very rigorous checks before you be allowed inside. And for those who also are getting asked, who want to go into the university itself, the main university, if you're driving inside, usually what the security officers there will do, random checks to check your car boot and then make sure that you're not entering with any harmful object or anything. For all the structures that they have on the university campus also, if you want to enter them, there are security men there to make sure that you are thoroughly checked before you are given access to that particular, building.
You've also been speaking to PRO of the university, Mr. Azutika. What's he been telling you on this matter?
Well, he has described what happened yesterday at an attempted coup, and that is because he said the former vice chancellor wanted access to the council chamber, and then there he would declare his supposed reinstatement, and he says that amounts to a coup back on the time. Intervention of the police officers. He has been assuring the entire university community, to be calm. He says they should disregard any information going around that the former vice chancellor, Professor Mauta Avoke, has taken over as the new vice chancellor of the University of Education of Winneba. Now we are also told that all administrative work and academic activities is going on,
right, Maxwell, let's listen to the PRO and then I'll wrap up with you right after that.
Okay, sure.
Preposterous, and in my own view, it was an attempted coup, so to speak, that was cooked and orchestrated and executed yesterday. Thankfully, the police were here on time to intervene and to ensure that nothing untoward happens in this university.
Well, part of the reasons why Professor Avoke came here yesterday was that he has been cleared of any procurement infractions by by IOCO. In fact, he's been saying this for some time now. I think in April he held a press conference in Accra where he made the same claims. And also we are told that part of the reasons also is because he got a restraining order. He applied for a restraining order, he got it, and that happened. I want us to focus more on the bit about the clearance from any procurement infractions that form the basis of his dismissal from this university.
Let me deal with that and then we'll attend to the other issues. This issue with Yoko having to clear Prof. Avoke, the university doesn't have anything against him. Yoko can clear him on certain allegations that they investigated. The point is that his dismissal was not premised on the work of Yoko or BNI. His dismissal was contingent on a piece of work done by Governing Council's fact-finding committee, which committee sought to gather facts in order that the university could defend itself at court. Now, whilst doing this, they came across certain infractions purported to then have been committed by Professor Avoke and those officers involved. And so, per the university processes, even when you have found such a thing, it doesn't mean that the people are guilty. It has to go through a process, which is that a board or a committee should be set up so that these people could go and answer to the questions that have been raised. So the university duly constituted a disciplinary board and invited these people to come and answer to those issues that had been raised. These gentlemen decided that they will not take that opportunity. The reason they gave was that the matter was before the law courts, and that once the matter is before the law court, they will not appear before any committee. The university kept on sending them reminders that we are reminding you, this is an opportunity for you. Come and answer to those questions that have been raised. In fact, it is possible that at that level, if they had come in to answer to those issues.
Mr. Asutika there is a PRO for the University of Education, Winneba, speaking to Maxwell Agbagba. Maxwell, I do have you on the line. Let's wrap this up quickly. At the moment, it looks like Professor Avoke did not show up as he had said he would yesterday. You said academic activities are not necessarily ongoing, but it looks like business as usual on campus. Do we know what's going to happen from tomorrow?
Well, it will be difficult to tell. As I mentioned earlier, regular school is not in session, but students on the sandwich program, they are going on with the academic activities. And what happened yesterday has not disrupted academic activities in any way. I asked the public relations officer of the university that how long are the police officers, going to remain on campus, and he said he's also unable, to tell how long. They are going to be there. But one of them I spoke to actually told me that as long as they feel that,
as long as they believe it's necessary.
Staff, the dismissed staff and then the former vice chancellor will show up, then it means that they will have to remain, at post till everything, steams down. So as that's now, it looks the case that we cannot really tell the future exactly what is going to happen, because the former vice chancellor had said that he show up today, but he didn't, show up today. Obviously, some people are saying because of the heavy security, presence in anticipation of his coming today. Many of them we speak to are saying that they don't think that he would show up tomorrow. So maybe we may just wait for the court declaration.
Is Professor Afro-Broni on campus though?
Yes, he's on campus and then he's in the office.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Maxwell, thank you very much for that update. Maxwell Agbagba there on the ground for us at the University of Education, Winneba. We were told it's been very chaotic the past more than 24 hours, I must say. We're still monitoring that story. In the meantime, the Minister for Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, today has been addressing the media on this issue, as well as others in the education sector. He's reaffirming the position of Professor Afro-Broni as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba.
Because as a responsible minister, I have to be cautious. But I can say without hesitation that there's only one Vice Chancellor in the UEW. If this country wants to go in a lawless way, somebody can run from somewhere and come and sit in Flagstaff House very soon and says, I'm the president. There's only one legal, legitimate Vice Chancellor. It's Reverend Afro-Broni. Anybody who doesn't understand must go through the legal process. We are not, and I repeat, we are not going to accept such things. Where would it end? Where would it end? I'm rather surprised that the police have not charged the trespassers in court by now. I'm rather surprised. Because even if you are, somebody must ensure that you are there. You can't nilly-willy run to a school, go and sit in a chair and say you are ever, hey, can we get a device? Let's give you. It's not easy like that. There's a process that we have to go through. You can challenge a process, you can go to court, you can challenge a process, and even if you win, it has to be executed. It's all through a legal means. We are not, and I repeat, we are not in a lawless state. That's all I can say.